Testing, mic check, mic check. What's up, boss fam? Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me, man. I'm still trying to figure out this new little system going through OBS and stuff, man. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Try to see if we can get some more people into the live. But yeah, everybody that's here, I appreciate y'all for being here. Thank y'all for being here. This community has been absolutely wonderful. Hear me loud and clear. Good, good, good. We're gonna get it popping in just a second. Let's see if we let some couple more people hop on. And yeah, we're gonna get into it, man. Hopefully y'all been good. Hope everybody's business is thriving, doing well. This mic had some time before I got a couple interviews scheduled in a couple hours, so figured I'd hop on and try to share some game with you guys in terms of this whole business credit and funding and getting financing and stuff like that. Now it's a common question and I get it a lot. And usually I get it in the context of people wanting to have someone fund their business idea. Like they haven't done any work yet and just starting out. They want to get someone to give them $100,000 to go get started, or $50,000 or $1,000,000. I've heard all the crazy suggestions, uh, and I usually like I it seems like I get upset, but really I just get frustrated at the laziness of where it comes from. And I don't think that it's a bad thing to want to go get financing, but I just think trying to do it without understanding the purposes of financing and how people who are going to be giving you money actually look at you, then it's kind of a waste. It just shows extreme laziness, and there is a way to approach it and going about getting other people's money to do things in your business, and there's a right way and there's a lazy way. Even if you were to get say $100,000 for your startup idea, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be successful. You can waste $100,000 like that, and if you don't have business experience and you don't know what you're doing, it's highly likely that you're just going to lose this person's money. And I don't want that to be anybody that follows me. So on this channel, I don't try to pitch any get rich quick schemes. I don't try to tell you that it's not going to be hard work. Any business that you build is going to be hard work, and it's going to take you, actually putting in a lot of effort to have success. And that's in any business. That's not just in commercial cleaning. It's even more so for us because we're in the blue collar industry. But for everyone in every business industry, every business it's gonna take work. If someone tells you it's gonna be easy, they're lying to you. I promise you, it's nothing about making a living for yourself is easy. If it was easy, the statistics wouldn't be what they are, which is 90% of businesses go to zero in the first 2 years. So it obviously isn't easy. So if you're able to do it, then that shows something about you. It's called being in the 1% for a reason. It's not easy to get there. Otherwise, everybody would do it. I think a lot more people can do it, which is why I have this channel and I try to share as much knowledge as I can, because I think more people can do it than they think, or at least get to a place where you're making more money than you would at a 9 to 5, and you're not you're not tied to sitting at your desk or punching the clock. You can actually do something for yourself and make a much better living than you would working for somebody else. But I don't think that everyone can run a successful business, to be quite frankly. And when people ask me questions like, uh, how do I go about getting $100,000 to start up, that makes me nervous for you. It frustrates me because I don't want you to think like that. I want you to think of how you're going to be able to make $100,000 first before you start thinking about somebody giving you $100,000, because you're just gonna blow through $100,000. It doesn't. I don't care what you think you're going to do with it, or how good you think you are at managing money. If you don't have experience, building a business, setting up systems, then that money is not gonna go anywhere but just to be wasted. So, I wanted to talk about approaching funding and approaching this the right way, because there's a right way. But it does take a little bit of time. But better that you get started at the beginning of your business than later on trying to play catch up, and yeah, you'll have money, but it takes a while to actually build up business credit. But it is extremely useful. Once you have it, you can do things like purchase cars. You can lease office space. You can get credit cards, that cover business expenses and travel and things like that, hotels, flights and stuff like that. You can get rewards. So having business credit is extremely useful, and it was even more extremely useful for me because when I started, I was in debt, and my personal credit was shot. My personal credit score when I first started my business was in the 300s. I didn't even know a credit score could get that low, but I had like a 333 when I first started my business. So credit is A1 now, but it it's a separate entity. It's not you, so you're not tied to it. It's going to be easier if you do have some good credit. If you have good credit already, then you can personally guarantee things, and that's an easier route for you. I generally don't even suggest that because I try to keep your business and your personal as separate as possible, and that means separating even in credit. But uh, business credit is something that's extremely useful to have. It's not necessary if you run a cash positive business, and we run everything cash positive here at the Clean and Boss family. But if you're cash positive, you won't need credit, but it is still good to have when you want to take advantage of credit card perks, or like I said, lease vehicles and things like that. So see what you guys talking about in the chat. See. Real Jacks, happy you're back and healthy. I appreciate it, man. It's good to be back. Good to be back healthy. Health is wealth, man. If you die, you go out of business. So it doesn't really matter what happens afterwards. If you die, you're not here to see whatever happens. It really doesn't matter. So health is wealth. Take care of your health, man. I'm glad that I'm back in good health, and I'm back beautiful again, thankfully. And I could be back on this camera in front of you guys and continue to provide value. So I don't take it for granted. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let's see. Divine Chosen, business is thriving. That's what I'm talking about. Business is thriving. Keep it up, man. Keep your foot on their necks, man. Do not stop. Keep your head down. Keep working. Keep moving towards those goals. Keep stacking those accounts, stacking that revenue, and make it as big as you can get. Because one day you're gonna turn around and you're not gonna want to do it anymore. And better that your business be able to sustain your lifestyle without you, and you can kind of just step away from it. Then you putting yourself in a situation where you kind of have to continue to work, and you can't even step away from working to enjoy this thing we call life. I don't want it to pass us by. That was my big thing starting the business. I didn't want life to pass me by. I wanted to live good and do the things that I wanted to do now. I wanted to be able to chase my dreams and not have my finances be a hindrance. And now I'm able to do that. I'm sitting in a media studio. Media has always been my dream, to be able to shoot commercials and do social media for people, and that's what I'm doing now. And that's off the back of starting my cleaning company. But shout out to Divine Chosen, always been supportive. All you guys have really been great. I definitely notice those of you who stick around and who always comment and stuff. So I appreciate you guys a lot. Let's see. Melissa Reed says hi. Hi, Melissa. How you doing? Shout out to you. Appreciate you. Welcome. Thank y'all for being here. But getting back to this building business credit. So it starts when you're first setting up your business. On day one, when you're going to apply for your business license and you're thinking of your business name and trademark and all of that stuff. As you're setting all of that stuff up, I've noticed a couple people forget that there's a second step. Once you get your business license and your UBI number, or whatever, I don't even know if that's a different term in other states, but you get your business number and things like that. You also have to go over to the IRS website and get a tax ID for your business. What's going on? Oh, there we go. But yeah, you also have to go over to the IRS's website to get a tax ID for your business. And that tax ID is basically going to operate like a social security number for your business. It's extremely important to have. You can't do anything that's strictly in your business name until you do that. So make sure you're not forgetting to get your tax ID number and your UBI, your business license number. So you need a business license and you need your tax ID. All of this stuff has to match. You register with the Secretary of State for your for your business. So there's the state side, your state business license, and there's the federal side, which is your tax ID number or EIN number, or whatever terms you hear is. I've heard of EIN number, tax number, Some people call it the business number, so be wary of that. Just remember that it's a completely different thing. So you need your tax ID number, and that's what's going to be what ties you to your business credit score. We'll get to business credit score in a minute. So once you get your tax ID number, now you can do one of the most important things is to go and open a business bank account for your business, and this is strictly in your business's name. It's not tied to you. No other entity can go in and take money out of there unless they're doing business with your business directly. So it's not your bank account. It's your business's bank account. You are a signer on that. You're an authorized person on that account, and that's extremely important because depending on what bank you choose or whatever bank you decide to go with, the little logo on their debit card, whether it's Visa or MasterCard, you're starting a relationship with that, with those money people, with MasterCard, with Visa, with American Express. That debit card kind of gives you an opening relationship to those entities, and that's a good thing to have, and that's going to come in handy when you actually go to apply for actual credit cards from these entities, because you already have some type of working relationship and you have transaction data, which is the most important thing that one of the most important things that they consider when they're trying to approve you for credit. Also, another thing that you need to go and set up. So we have our tax ID number, we have our business license number. Now we need to go to the Dun and Bradstreet website in order to get a DUNS number, DUNS. So Dun and Bradstreet. DUNB. I don't know exactly what the website is, if it's just dunb.com or .org, but Dun and Bradstreet, you want to go and apply for a DUNS number. So it's going to be pretty much all of the same information. You're going to fill out your business name, address, you as the manager, and you're going to get a DUNS number. This is what's going to give you a business credit score, through Dun and Bradstreet. To take, you're basically just putting your business in all of these financial systems. You have to exist there in order for things to start tracking you, and it's a lot of footwork up front, but it's, for the most part, it's free. I think your tax ID might be like $180, and your business ID might be like $20, but long term, that's once, and then you're good. Except for renewals every year. But once that exists, then you're good. You don't have to do it anymore. Once you set up your Dun and Bradstreet account, you don't have to do it anymore. It's done after that. Same with setting up your Experian business. So each of the same credit bureaus that you use for personal, they exist for business. So you want to go to their business site, putting your tax ID number, putting your business address, business name, all that same information, and you want to make sure that you exist on through all these reporting agencies, all these places that report financial data. And so once you're in these systems, then you're in a good place. A lot of people forget that that's where you have to start. You have to put yourself in these systems. And so once you're in these systems, it's much easier for them to approve you for things and to give you things without a personal guarantee, because they have a relationship with your business. So check the comments. Let's see. Donnie Brasco, what's up, man? Shout out to you. I appreciate you, man. Another long-time subscriber. Somebody who's really active in the community. I hope everything's going well for you, boss. And let's see. All right. So where were we? So now that we're entered into all of these financial systems, now you're going to start to apply for the low grade vendor credit. Basically, there's a couple of sites that will start you off with a limit to where you can order things on net 30 terms, and and pay it off afterwards. Sites like Uline, I know, is a popular one. This is what I did. I didn't order anything from these sites. You want to look them up and then go make accounts just so you have these open credit lines, because you're gonna need to have these open trade lines. So just go to those sites like Uline that starts you off with a with a balance or with a given limit. I'm not sure exactly what they start you off with, but sites like that, you want to do 4 or 5 of those sites and just be in their system and have these lines open. If it's going to take you some time, You can, purchase things from there, use that limit and pay it off. It does show transaction data, and that's good to have. God, my nose is itching. Hold on. Sorry about that. But you wanna have some transaction data with these entities, and once that exists, it opens you up to the next level of credit, which would be store credit. So you go from trade lines, from the sites like Uline and whatever else you can find, and then you go to store credit. Store credit are those cards that you get from random places, and you do places that are useful, like do Walmart or Best Buy. You can do Home Depot, Lowe's. We actually use these places. We actually use these stores. We get equipment, and we buy things from these stores already. So it's a good idea to go and apply for a store credit with your business, through your business, for the places that you already spend money, so that when you do spend money there, you put it on those cards and then pay it off immediately. And there you go, more transaction data. And I think once you build up a certain amount, I think it's 4 or 5 of those actual store credits, store credit cards or store credit lines. Now you're opened up to a slightly next level of useful credit, which will be like your gas cards. So like Shell, I know has a popular one. We have a group of Shell business cards. Uh, once you've reached that level, you'll be able to apply for a bunch of Shell credit cards. I didn't spend so I didn't spend a whole lot of money, through any of these entities. So through Walmart or Home Depot, I just created these accounts. I would use them every now and then, just so that the accounts would stay active and they wouldn't just disappear. But you don't have to spend a whole lot of money, if any at all. These lines have to just be active. They have to exist, and if they exist, and once you have some time with them, usually 3 to 6 months of these things being on your business's credit report, it makes it easier to get to that next level. So you may not get approved the first time you apply for something, but if, as long you have these accounts open for longer, then you'll be able to go to the next level. And so after store credit, then you have your gas cards, and even your basic not prepaid, but like smaller credit cards, like Spark. Capital One Spark card is an incredible card to start off with. I think they do report to your personal and your business credit, but it's a good way to start, just to get something reporting to your business credit. And it's not bad if you actually, be on your best behavior with the credit card, and you use it like a responsible adult. Then you won't mess. You'll only increase your personal credit. It won't hurt you, but your business credit will have that transaction data to report. And then those cards you want to have, obviously for 3 to 6 months, with keeping transaction data on it. The difference with business credit, so once you do get approved for your first, say, solely business credit cards, by this time, at this level, you'll be able to get approved for some, depending on how much volume you do. So you may get a $5,000 or $10,000 card at this point. And once you get those cards, you're able to to use those cards, and depending on how you use them, you business credit, you don't have to stay under your 30% usage, like a personal credit card would. They look at it a little bit different. They expect you to kind of pretty much use all your business credit, but they also expect you to pay it off and pay it on time. And so those things still apply, but it doesn't necessarily hurt your business credit for you to keep a balance, or to have 80% utilization. That stuff is much less important on the business side. It's very important on the personal side. I definitely don't suggest using more than 10% of your available credit on your personal side, but on the business side, the expectations are a little bit different. So depending on how much you use these cards and how much you pay off, then you'll be able to apply for that actual level of business credit, of the golden group of those credit cards that you can get, the American Express, the big Capital One cards, and the Visas and Mastercards and stuff like that, that are 20, 30, $40,000 limits and stuff like that, depending on how much volume you do through the previous set of cards. And that's how you get to that level. And once you're there, you'll have a business you'll have a business credit score. You'll have a DUNS number. You'll have a a credit worthiness through Dun and Bradstreet. They'll even give you a suggested limit and things like that. So once you're at that level and you have, everything's looking good, now you can go and apply for, different things like business funding, business loans through your bank, uh, you know, all kinds of stuff, vehicles for your company, things that you can put on a lease and make payments on and have a fleet of vehicles, if those are things that you actually want to do with your business. But very rarely are you going to be able to just walk into a bank fresh with ideas without experience and say, hey, I need $100,000 for my business, for my cleaning business. It just doesn't happen a whole lot. I mean, I'm not saying that it won't ever happen and it can't happen, but it's just highly unlikely that someone without business experience or a proven track record, even with a solid business plan and a growth plan that seems foolproof, it's going to be hard to just walk into somewhere and have them just give you money without anything to go off of, except your personal credit. If you have A1 credit to start with, then you know then X this whole video. Don't even watch this video. Get out of this video now, because none of this applies to you. You can go and kind of use your personal credit to get whatever you want, if that's the route that you want to go with. But generally, I do not even suggest using credit at all. I suggest being cash positive, paying everything off in full. We if you listen to me, we get our money up front. So you start off with money. So don't like, there's no reason for you to be losing money, there's no reason for you to be going into debt and owing any entity any money, because we start off cash positive if you follow the way that I run business, which is to kill the net 30 unless you actually can't afford it, or unless you plan on working for 30 days and saving up those 30 days for the next client. But generally, I say get paid up front, get your money, stay cash positive, only spend what you have, pay off debts as soon as possible, if not immediately. And that's how you run your business, and that's how you keep cash in the bank. But that's my spiel about business credit and getting funding. At that point, yeah, you can go and apply for funding. Don't forget about grants. You can always go and apply for grants, small grants and small business grants through your local SBA. Like, so if you go to the SBA website, there's usually a breakdown of city to city, state to state, and the entities that have grants available for small businesses for whatever reason. Find the ones that match you and go and apply for those grants. A lot of times people just aren't applying for them, so you can just get them just because you're the only person that applied. But though that's a good way to start as well. If you're really if you have no other time, when you're not on the phone cold calling, or you're not beating the street knocking on doors, that's another thing you can be doing to bring in revenue for your business. So building that list of employees on the side, building that putting your ads out on Indeed and Facebook and stuff like that for employees, and build your list of employees so that they're ready to go when you do get a client. Be cold calling and cold emailing and posting on social media, all the free stuff, putting your feet on the street and going knocking on some doors and introducing people to your business. If you're not doing that stuff, then applying for grants is another thing that you can be doing. So it's an income producing activity, and if you're good at it, which it takes some skill. Everything takes some skill, which means you're gonna have to sharpen up your writing skills. You're gonna have to sharpen up how your persuasive language is, and how to tell stories. You're gonna have to be good at that in writing these grants, because if you do come across some bigger grants, those are probably gonna have some competition. So everything is gonna take skills. Just like I said, is business a good idea? Yeah, it's a great idea. It's a great way to make money, but so is being an NBA basketball player. That pays well. That pays well too. But the question is, can you play basketball? The question is, can you run a business? Do you have the skills that it takes to actually to do well in running a business? But I'm done with my spiel. If y'all have any questions, let me know. If y'all got any questions, hop in the comment section. I'm sticking around for a little bit. Still got about 20 minutes, 30 minutes before my next interview is gonna show up. So while I'm here, man, y'all got me. Ask me whatever you need to know. If it's about business credit, or if it's about whatever it is, I'm here for you for the moment. Let's Jordan says facts. That's all I spit is facts. All I spit is facts. Said I'm a financial coach as well. That's dope. That is dope. So I have a unconventional. Well, I don't think it should be unconventional, but to most it is an unconventional approach to personal finance, especially. Well, really, I just speak from where I come from, which is broken, homeless, and in debt. And so I think there's a set of principles that I used in order to get out of that situation for myself. I know most people don't have it that extreme, but so I have some extreme, opinions and some extreme views on personal finance, and I'd love to chop it up with you one day to see what a actual professional finance coach suggests for certain situations that I compare to what I think. So, but dope. Congratulations. Hope that's going well. Uh, let's see. Ellis Berry says, "What's a good subject line for cold email?" So if you are just starting out and you don't have like 1,000, 1,500 person email list, then that means you have time. You have time to do. You have time to scale the unscalable. When you're small, that's what you want to do. Is you want to scale the unscalable, and what that means in cold email and even cold calling is you have to be, like I said, everything you have to be good. You have to be really good. So if you're going to cold call or cold email somebody, you're going to have to say something that keeps them on the phone, and that means that you are going to have to know who you're calling, know who you're emailing, look them up. You can find something about their company or what their company is doing. You can find these people on look them up on Facebook. Stalk them. It doesn't matter. Whatever's on the internet is fair game. It's public information at that point. Find them, look them up, find some way, something personal to them. So address them by name, and then use whatever it is that you found in either their company. You say, hey, hi Kyle, love your blank on blank, whatever. Love your view on puppies or what have you. And if it's personal and they see that it's not a robot, then they're gonna open the email, and that's what you want, is for them to open the email. But you're gonna have to do your research and scale the unscalable. That gets a little bit different when you actually have a customer list, and you have a profile for who you're targeting and the types of customers that are going to be in that list. Then you can draft emails a little bit more, not for the masses, but for that targeted group. You never want to just try to send cold emails because to just random cold every business owner or every facility manager. That's never going to work. It's because it's never going to break the mold. No one's ever going to notice that. You can't help but say something generic because it has to be generic, because it has to go to everybody. So the more niche you can be, the more targeted you can be, the better. And you have time anyway, and you have time, so you have time to go and make it personal. So even if you have an email list, hopefully you have that email list broken down per customer persona, or maybe you're only targeting one type of customer, and then you can then the type of things that are valuable to that type of customer, depending on if it's a gym, or if it's a Class A office building, or if it's a daycare facility. Now their pain points. You know what this type of business struggles with in terms of cleaning, and you can draft subject lines accordingly, according to whatever it is that business's pain points are. I hope that answers your question. Let's see what else we got here. What do you think about networking groups? To be honest, I mean, if as a CEO, you're gonna have to do some type of networking. So networking is always good. Meet people. If you have time, those are things that you definitely should be doing. So join networking groups, join whatever Facebook groups if you have to. Be wherever the knowledge is. Just be good at evaluating the intention of the presenter or whoever the entity is. So just remember to follow people who are doing things that you want to do and have come from a place that that's near or looks similar to where you're starting or where you're coming from. But always good to be a part of networking groups. Always good to meet people and join communities and things like that. Though sometimes the information that you can get out of those settings is invaluable, and that's why I suggest subscribing to different YouTube channels. So anyone who is talking about your industry or your subject, something that you want to specialize in, then you should be subscribing and following all of those different channels. Whether you can tell that they're obviously fake, or you can't really tell if they're fake or not. But every now and then, some of the things that people say, you got to be able to evaluate the information that you hear, and just decipher between what's bullshit and what's fake. And the more you hear, the better you'll be able to get at discerning what's bullshit and what's not. Now, bro, walkthroughs, I've been getting told my prices are too high. I mean, are your prices too high? That's probably where you want to start. You want to, have you looked at what other people in your area are charging? How are you coming up with your pricing? Or how are you attracting clients? Maybe you're just attracting some lower paying clients, and that could be a reflection of what your website looks like. It could be a reflection of your presentation, how you're going about, how you're showing up to the walkthroughs, or you could just be pricing yourself out of the market. So just make sure that you do some corporate espionage and see what other prices are floating around out there. Get there. Also, I spoke about this in my last video. You guys aren't watching the full videos. I know I ramble. I have the tendency to ramble sometimes, but I ramble into useful information. I'm never just on here talking for my health. I'm usually trying to get to something valuable for you. So watch all my videos. In my very last video, I kind of talked about this already. Get your client's budget either beforehand on your website. Have a text block on the form where they actually input their budget, and if they may, like I said, it's going to be hard. They may not want to give it to you, but you need to harp on what is your budget. It's going to be hard for me to figure out how I'm going to design a service for you, or design a custom service for you without your budget. So make sure you're getting your clients' budgets. And that'll help you with that pricing too high, because you'll know kind of exactly what they're expecting, and whether or not, you may even know right out of the gate whether or not they're unrealistic and it's not going to be able to fit what you do. But remember, as long as you are profitable, so whatever you're paying people plus the cleaning equipment that it costs, as long as your price is above that, then you're good. So you have some room you have some wiggle room. That's why just doubling or tripling your cost isn't always the answer, because that can easily make you too high, or you can price yourself out of the market like that. So find out what your base cost is, find a profit margin that's comfortable for you. Definitely don't go lower than what you're willing to accept. As far as a profit margin, you still have to make money, but know that you have some wiggle room above your costs. You can always make less money just to have work for your employees, or just to have income for your business. So sometimes you do have to negotiate, and that's just a part of it. And the better you are negotiating, the better. But the more attractive you can make your business, and the more value that you can communicate to your potential clients, then the more you can charge. If they don't see the value in it, then they're not going to pay a high price. But if it feels like it's something that's important to them, or you explain to them that how it's going to be valuable for their business and how it's going to help their business, then you can warrant a higher price for that. Let's see. I think the best way to get past gatekeepers, because a lot of people in networking groups are decision makers. Yeah. I mean, you get to talk directly to the people that you want to talk to. It's just what do you say when you get in front of them? That's what you want to be working on. But yeah, networking group is a great way to get around that, and you can get direct access to people. And don't do it for nothing. Try to collect as much of that data as possible, so that you can reach out to them on your own time. Let's see, have you joined the Chamber of Commerce? And you see, that's my next month's goal. Yeah, back when I first started, I did all of that stuff that you want to do when you're first getting started, is joining your local Chamber of Commerce, go and shake hands with other business owners and other people who are trying to build businesses in your city, and other people who are trying to do things in the city. Get close to all those people, make those connections. Those are really good early on connections. It you said you said, let's see, next month's goal. What I'm so curious as to what everyone's doing in the meantime. Like when I say do this to work on your business, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go do it in this time period. I'm like, what are you up to? Like, what are you doing? Do you want to do this or not? Do you not understand that people like me don't sleep and we work all night? Do you see the volume of content that I put out? I still have 2 other businesses and 3 kids. Like, I'm constantly doing something. I'm working. Like, people are out here working. So those of you who are like, oh, I'm gonna get started next week, or you're losing market share every minute. There's people out here getting started every day, and some of us are hungry. Like, you are eventually going to wait and procrastinate yourself out of being able to start this business. After a while, it's the real estate's going to be taken up, and there's not going to be as much room. I do think that cleaning is not at a cap by any means, and there's going to be plenty of money to be made, but you got to get started. You got to get started soon. You should be. This is an intense moment, especially in the beginning. In the beginning, especially if you are not satisfied financially with where you are, you need to be intense. You need, like how Dave Ramsey says, the intensity of a gazelle trying to get away from a lion. That's the type of intensity that you need to have. You can't sit here and like twiddle your thumbs, or I'll get started next week, or I'll build my website later. Like, those are things that you could be doing right now. Like, I don't understand, if you are unsatisfied financially with your financial situation, you're not comfortable. How can you go to sleep at I couldn't sleep at night until I finished the things that I knew I could be doing. I was like, okay, well, I'm not there yet. I know I could be doing this. I know I could be building my website. I know I could be making or scheduling out a month's worth of posts. I know I could be trying to research clients and building an email list. I know I could be doing these things. Like, what else am I doing? What else are you doing? Watching Netflix? Like go work. Do work. There's always work to be done. There's always work to be done. Like, I don't see how you can be not where you want to be and there still be a shit ton of work to get done and you not do it. Like, I don't like there's people out here who are not going, people like me that don't go to sleep until we are finished with that day, until we feel like that day has been productive or we've moved our business. I live my life in business like it's patience and it's extreme hard work. Like, I'm patient. I believe that it's gonna take some time. So I don't care if it takes me 30 years because I'm gonna be running businesses. Entrepreneurship is what I love. So I'm patient. I'm okay with nothing happening, nothing better happening for the next 35, 40 years. I'm cool because I'm gonna be working the entire time doing what I love to do. So I'm okay with it taking that long. I'm that patient. But at the same time, I'm trying to go to the Hall of Fame today. Like, I'm trying to do enough work to go to the Hall of Fame every single day. I'm trying to bust ass. I'm trying to get to the next level. I'm trying to hit the finish line every single day, understanding that I'm going to fall short. I'm not going to go to the Hall of Fame today, but I'm going to work and try to, like I am. That's the difference. That's the type of mentality that you have to have, because people who are successful, that's what we do. There has to be a why. What are you doing this for? There has to be a why. You have to be doing this for some important reason. And for me, I really, really, really did not want to be broke. And a lot of people say they don't want to be broke, but like, your actions don't show it. You sit around twiddling your thumbs, not getting to work. Like, I'm here working. I don't sit around and wait for something to happen. Like, I go and make it happen. I'm working until it happens. My friends don't hear from me for weeks at a time because I'll get into some business, some random niche in business, or I'll have a breakthrough or learn something about marketing, and then I can't stop studying it, or I can't stop trying to get good at it. That's what's needed, especially if you want to call yourself a CEO. You have to wear so many hats. That means you have to be good at so many jobs. Like, I could step into any role in any company and I'm dangerous. Like, I'm good, especially on the marketing side, anything creative, anything as far as business operations. I can step into any company and do those things because when I went to go do them for myself, I studied and I got good. And you're not going to do that if you don't have a why. That has to be important to you. That's the only way this is going to work. I can't stress that enough. It's not going to work with you lollygagging or procrastinating or waiting to go and build your website. When building a website is free, you can go to Squarespace or what have you, or Weebly or any of these other sites and practically build your website for free. Posting on social media is free. Taking pictures of yourselves is free. These are things that you can be doing. These are the things that actually move your business to the next level. Building a list of potential employees, free. Writing out your systems, free. All the important things, free to do. It's just work. You have to do it. And the longer you take to do it, the longer you're going to be in the same place. Sorry, I got on a little bit of a rant there, but like I get like that's it's the main difference between success and failure, and and it's going to take a while. So the sooner you get started, the better. You need to you need to get started. Let's see what are the comments we have. Join them all, yeah. If there's few, I'm like in between a bunch. I'm in between a bunch of different cities: Mukilteo, Linwood, Everett, Shoreline. I'm like right in the middle of all of them. I'm a member of all of those chamber of commerces, and you know, I know all of those people who are a part and run those things, and those are great connections to have because when things come up, government jobs and stuff that come up, I know all the people who are shaking and moving. It's just a phone call or an email away. I have their business cards, I have their contact info, so it's extremely useful. And then people who start off there, their businesses end up growing sometimes, and now you have a contact whose business has taken off and does multiple millions of dollars, and you can lean on them for advice or a leg up in certain areas as well. So local chamber of commerce is a great networking spot. Guys, budgets on the contract. Yeah, basically, I see you, Donnie Brasco, asking if he should just basically, wash and reuse that method. Yeah, absolutely. So keep getting your customer's budget. Try to find a way to come underneath it if you can, and also give them a price that's probably a little bit above it. You got to give people options. Give them something to choose from. In sales, they call it the A/B close. You can either take A or B. ABC close or B. Obviously, there's a better, a worse, and there's a best option. So there's a more expensive option. There's like a middle option that's probably the best for them, and there's a cheaper option where they're probably not gonna like it as much, but they're gonna save some money. So try to give people those options, and yeah, it's a good closing method. Let's see. That's next month's goal. I see. So yeah, if the money is the issue, the next month's goal should be to get clients, bro. That's where you're messing that up. You should be on the phone and in front of your computer sending emails and making posts and telling people about your business. That's what you need to be worried about, as opposed to doing any networking. So you're not in that phase yet. You need clients. So go get clients. That's all you should be worried about. Most people, that's all you should be doing is getting clients. They just don't want to do the work of cold calling or trying to figure out what to say to send good emails. They don't want to do that work. They don't want to do the work to get good at those things, and that's what's stopping a lot of people. Let's see. Sandra Lovett says, "Hey there, love your content. I'm stuck on hiring contractors versus W-2 employees. I've heard you mentioned you usually stay away from 1099, but can you elaborate more on that, please?" Absolutely, I'd be happy to. What I say is I generally stay away from doing subcontracted work, which means as a company, we don't sign 1099 contracts to do work for other people. So someone's looking for cleaning, they find company XYZ. Company XYZ reaches out to us to perform the cleaning and says they're going to pay us to perform the cleaning for the client that they just got. I do not do that. I almost never accept deals like that unless it's some god awful amount of money. I generally never do that. Hiring, on the other side, I'm definitely more willing to hire a company to be a 1099 contractor. What's what's different? The difference between 1099 and W-2 is that a 1099 contractor is not just one person who doesn't work for you full time. That's not what a 1099 is. A 1099 person is someone who does this service. Like, so another cleaning business would be a 1099 employee. If, say, it's a one person cleaning business and they clean accounts for other people and not just you, then that's a 1099 worker. Whether they doesn't matter how many hours they work for you, how many jobs they do. If they own their own, if they do this cleaning thing for other people and this is what they do on their own, they're, a contracted service, then that's what you would specify as a 1099. The amount of hours that someone works for you doesn't specify, doesn't make them categorized as a 1099 or a W-2. It's the relationship that you have with this person. If they're only cleaning for you, if you are training them, if they're wearing your uniforms, then they work for you. That's a W-2 employee. So don't mix that up, because you can get audited, and a lot of people do get audited, especially in cleaning. Everyone thinks that everyone needs to be a 1099. I don't say not to go and hire 1099. It's a great way to get into different markets. Like, I just went into a different market by hiring 1099 contractors, but this is why you don't, because for exactly the same thing that I did. I start running advertisements in a different state, right? I get clients reaching out to me for cleaning services in that different state. I get a list of cleaning companies in that state. Those cleaning companies are going to sign a 1099. I don't have to train them. I don't have to do anything to them. I don't have to train them. I don't have to do anything other than pay them. They're going to clean for me, and I'm just here making my little margin on the top. That's a 1099 relationship. I'm getting actual cleaning companies or people who already are trying to build cleaning companies, smaller companies, things like that, to go and take care of work for me under my business name. I have the relationship with the client. What I've done recently is I go into those markets where I have those 1099 contractors, and then I find local employees, W-2 employees, to replace those 1099 contractors, and then I fire them. Then that's it. Then I get rid of my 1099 contractors. They can go on and find the rest of their own business, because I have the relationship with the client, and it's cheaper for me to train my own employees and have them follow my system, and I have a little more control over what goes on in these locations and how the work is getting done, and that's what I prefer. That's the style that I prefer. Some people don't, some people like to have, less control, don't have to train anybody, don't have to do anything, and those things are out of your hand, and give it to us, 1099 worker, and they handle it, and you kind of just, manage your relationship with the client. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think that's great. That's perfectly fine to do. Just understand the difference between what's a 1099 contractor and what's a W-2 employee. W-2 employee works for you. They're your employee. They only do cleaning for you. That doesn't mean that they can't have a different job. They can have another job, but if they're doing cleaning for you, they're trained by you, they wear your uniforms, whether they work 2 hours a week or 200 hours a week, that's a W-2 employee. Whether a 1099 cleaner of another cleaning company, whether they clean one building for 2 hours or they clean 20 buildings for 200 hours, if they're their own company, their own entity, they're a 1099 contractor. So understand that, and that hopefully that'll help you make a decision on which way to go. It's just a business structure. There's no rules to this cleaning industry. You can pick whatever structure you want, and you can mix and match business structures. You can, do like I do. You can have 4 corporate locations and then franchise 30 other locations across the country. You can do whatever you want. No, there's no rules. Everyone's making this shit up as they go. I promise you. Let's see what else we got. Sandra Lovett, that was a great question. Shout out to you for that question. I'm gonna clip that one. That's gonna be its own video. So when you're on social media, Melissa A. Reed, TA, shout out to you for asking the question. Appreciate it. When you're on social media looking for new clients, what do you say? So when I'm on social media looking for new clients, I provide value. That's the purpose of social media. You really got to go back and watch deep, get deep into my content for things like this. But I do talk about it a lot. When you're communicating online and you're trying to build your brand online, there's a difference between branding and sales. When you're posting on social media, most of that should be brand. You don't sell as much on social media. So like this thing, perfect example. That's why I love that I'm good at business, because I just built a personal brand, and I built this following just for this, just so you guys can see the example. Take what I'm doing. I do also consulting is the business, but what you see me doing right now is just giving away information. I'm building brand. Giving value. That's it. That's what you do on social media. You give value. So whatever is valuable to your end user, whatever is valuable to your client, then that's what you talk about. That doesn't matter. Pick a niche, find their pain points, talk about things that bring them value, and talk about whatever. You can obviously give some thought, be a thought leader as well in your industry. Let them know that you know what you're talking about, and share information like that. But you mainly want to be bringing value, creating things that they want to watch, creating things that they want to see online. So build value online, and then every now and then you ask for the sale, or you run advertising targeting the people that already follow you and know you. So this channel, as an example, I provide a service, but most of the stuff that you see me post online is just giving value to build brand, so that when the day comes that I do have something to sell you, I already have a relationship with you, and I'm not just cold selling you. Hopefully that makes sense. That's the biggest. Like, I give away everything. I give away all my secrets, and that's to build brand. Let's see. Dark Romeo Productions, what's good, bro? Can I get some marketing tips? Yeah, absolutely. I'm a genius marketer. So take advantage of organic traffic. So be everywhere, be omnipresent. Create some. I love the content model. Create something long form, chop it up into short form. Use that information to create transcripts, blogs, social media posts, so that you're not having to create a bunch of things. You use one piece of pillar content to break it down into different things for all the different social media platforms, and you focus on the platforms that give you reach, that give you extra organic reach for free. Right now, those platforms are LinkedIn and TikTok, and I believe even Facebook Reels is a good arbitrage. Use that. As things do well, those are indicators of good ads. So the things that actually do well or take off or go viral or get X amount of views, those are the things you want to take and turn or use that information and that data to create advertisements, and then you run advertising to however you want to target, and also retargeting your audience. So there's some marketing advice for you, without knowing exactly what you're trying to do. But yeah, market, build value, and things that provide the most value will go viral, and those are things that indicate good ads, and then you put money behind those ads. Danny Roscoe, go get clients. Got it. Yep, that's it. Go get clients. My camera might be about to overheat here in a little bit, so we're gonna be getting out of here soon. Marathon James Hero says, dig your channel, bro. I appreciate it. I appreciate the love, man. I appreciate all the love. Sandra Levis is right. I don't like the lack of control and the quality assurance that comes along with 1099. Exactly. That's how I feel. I was like, I don't have time to risk my brand or my reputation on on subpar quality. So always like to have as much control over the process and procedure as possible, so that I can actually guarantee that to my clients. But I'm gonna get on out of here, man. I appreciate y'all for being here. I appreciate y'all for tuning into this live. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, man. Share the channel with some other people, and try to bring as much value as I can to the community. And we'll go live every Tuesday around this time. So check back in with me every Tuesday for another live. The time may change, but for the most part, this is what it's going to be, Tuesday at around 2 p.m. So I love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for being here. Go out there and get clients, man. Go get clients. Go build these skills that you need to run your business. I started this when I was in a real bad place, homeless, in debt, in custody battles for my kids, and no way to actually fight for them. And that was my motivation, to be sick of my situation. You won't really change it until you're sick of it. Now, it's just how it has to be. But you got to be sick of your situation and ready to change in order to put in that work that's required. So that's what it's going to take, man. I know y'all can do it. I know you can do it because you're on the internet. You're looking for the information. You or me, before, as I was getting started, on the internet looking for the information. There was a lot less information when I was getting started, and there's a lot more information now for available for you guys. And I'm hoping to be one of those sources. And that's why I'm here, and that's why I do what I do. But I love y'all. I appreciate y'all for being here. Keep looking for that information. Keep looking for, the way to get to that next level. Keep building your business. Be patient. Be patient and be fast at the same time. Work fast, work hard every day like you're trying to end it that day, and just expect to be doing that every day for the rest of your life. Don't judge yourself for things that go in businesses up and down. It happens. Don't judge yourself for if things are going bad right now. As long as you stay in it, you will grow. You will get better. Things will improve the more you do it and the longer you stay in it. I love y'all. Keep that boss mentality. Peace.